right, all right. Where we at? All right, family. We are live. Welcome to another show. It is your man BMT, and we have a lot to discuss this evening. For some of you, it's late night in the States. Some of you might be on the West Coast. I want to give a shout out to everybody tuning in. I know it's a lot of content, a lot of lives going on right now. So I appreciate you guys tapping in to the live, man, because we do have some things to discuss, man, some factual things. I just want to pull up some things because, like I said before, this Floyd Wallace Jr. situation is pretty horrific, and I don't want to take away from the impact, of the crime that he's accused of, allegedly. All right, I'm not here to defend the Passport Bro's name or terminology like that. What he's accused of course, nobody cosigns, but it's horrible, especially when children are involved. I don't want to try to take away from the impact of that. And I think that's what's going on right now with a lot of the content creators, mostly the smaller channels. But one channel in particular has a pretty big platform in Austin. We're going to talk about Austin in a second, in his title, how he came out with the news and what he's trying to do, basically, by separating himself by, dissing the Passport Bro name is what he's done, of course. But we'll get to that in a moment. But I don't want to, like I said before I even start this live, I just want to give a disclaimer that I don't want to take away from the seriousness of these crimes that this guy is accused of. All right, I'm not here to defend the name or anything or the terminology like so many people thought I was going to do. I was more so reporting it. And I was the very first content creator that reported this. Like he said before, right now, as expected, it's going to be a lot of smaller channels and even some media outlets that's going to be, throwing the Passport Bro's name on this guy, even though he said he was not a Passport Bro. He said that several times. All right. He went by Foreign Only. I believe that was the name of his YouTube channel. He did previously go as Mr. Passport Bro, but and I'm going to get more deep into that situation. He changed that name for a specific reason. All right. But we're going to talk about that. First and foremost, man, I want to welcome everybody in the chat, man. This is going to be an open panel. But before I bring on the open panel, I am going to bring on my guy, Esmond MIA. I'm going to bring him on because he actually spent some time with Floyd. All right. And he's going to bring out some receipts of his time he spent with Floyd, saying that he kind of knew that he was, on some different type of time as well. Now, let me say this. All right. This is an individual action. All right. This is a horrific crime, basically, of what he's been accused of. And there's a lot of evidence. There is a lot of evidence. I know people saying that he might have been framed. No. There's a lot of evidence. They seem to bring the receipts. And I'm actually going to play a video by a Brazilian woman speaking on this as well. All right. So it's definitely not looking good for him. I also had a Brazilian friend of mine reached out to me. I'm going to read you what he sent me as well. Okay, so it's really unfortunate, man. It really is unfortunate. I'm gonna tap into some of the comments. But before I even get to the comments, let me play the video, man, because I know you guys have been seeing the clips and everything like that. You've been seeing all the photos and stuff. But I'm gonna play the video, one of the first videos that was circling around. All right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Keep your hand on the board. Keep your
surrendering.
You're being arrested for a child exploration by the police of here, okay? That's it.
Okay. So just to give you guys a rundown, like I know most of the guys in chat already know what's going on. It's like 1 million content creators doing a story about this right now. I was the first one to break it. Basically, the guy got caught up, and I even got more details now than I did before. But the guy got basically caught up messing around with minors. It seems like possibly even trafficking minors, aligning them with other foreign guys and everything like that. The Uber drivers basically reported him. Shout out to the Uber drivers. They reported him. The girls made testimonies against him as well. And it's reports that he resisted arrest. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in detail further down the line. So this guy's banged up, man. But as you guys can see, the title of the show is, well, who's to blame? Right? Who's to blame for the Passport Bros? And I actually got this title from another content creator. He shall be nameless right now. But, you know, I was going to title the show this anyway, because once I saw Austin's response in his videos, him labeling the title that he labeled it, saying Passport Bros, plural, were caught doing that horrific thing. In order to play, you know, social politics is what he's playing at a very horrendous time. But I thought about it right after I did the stream, and I was like, well, if he wasn't associated with Austin and the so-called Passport Bros in the beginning, he would just be a random sick individual getting caught up doing some sicko shit, right? But because he was kind of ushered into the space, right? He was popularized by Austin. That's where the unfortunate association kind of comes with. Now, all these guys I've said, they are not Passport Bros several times over. Not that matters, because right now, to be all transparent and honest with the chat, Passport Bro is the internet terminology at this point. All right. It's the same as calling somebody a tourist or an expat. It's been so overused and misused and non-defined, no matter how much, you know, we try to define it. It's just a term at this point. There's no criminal organization. There's no mastermind head behind it. All right. There's no ledgers or anything like that. It's internet terminology. Some people are in favor of it and some people are not. And that's where a lot of the defamation comes from, basically. It's a way for people to get clicks and views at this point. And unfortunately, a lot of people are searching for the clicks and the views, but they'll label it Passport Bro this, Passport Bro that, especially like these guys aren't journalists or anything. They're doing irresponsible journalism, of course. All right. A lot of us in the chat, we know what we represent. You know, guys abiding by the laws of not only our country, but the countries of other laws as well, laws of other countries as well. We know this to be true. But yeah, you're going to have some individuals that do some funky ass shit out there. And unfortunately, in order for clicks and views from, you know, smaller content creators, basically, because most of the bigger content creators like DC Born Rob and Razor Rays and other guys are not labeling Passport Bro this, Passport Bro that. They're just reporting the actual facts of what happened. This sicko dude is accused of getting arrested or doing these heinous acts to minors in Brazil. Okay. I got my man, put my man in here in the background. I got you, man. Give me 1 second. Let me catch the super chat real quick. All right. He was connected to Austin. I gave you clear evidence Austin did after I come onto your live stream. You ignored the evidence. I did not ignore the evidence, brother, about what he did to that girl in Kenya. So come on and lie. Floyd equals Austin equal Rello. See, this is the thing, man. That's a harsh thing. I appreciate super chat. That's a harsh thing to put on somebody. I'm going to be very transparent. I'm going to give you a situation, right? Because listen, you don't know what type of time someone's on, even if you know them remotely a little bit. And a lot of times we don't know these guys. We didn't grow up with these guys, but even if we did, right? I give you a similar situation, right? You know, I haven't been in the States in almost going 6 years now. When I got back to America and I started visiting my family, I started asking for certain guys that the family was close to, you know, who we grew up with, who was in our neighborhood. And I'm like, you know, hey, man, how's, you know, this guy? And how is this guy? And how's she been doing? And then I say, well, how is, you know, such and such? And they was like, oh, man, he got banged up, bro. He was doing this. He was touching on minors. You know, he was touching on a kid. And I'm like, what? Right? You couldn't have told me that, you know, this guy, for me hanging with this guy and everything, growing up with this guy, that he was even that type of individual. So in all fairness, people hide creepo shit all the time. You really don't know what somebody's intentions are. And I'm not going to put that on Rello or Austin that they knew what type of time this guy was on. All right. People hide shit like that, you know, from other people. Like, we don't know these people for sure. You never know somebody. You don't even know, half the time, you don't even know the person in the bed that you sleep in. You don't even know that person 100% fully. People are sneaky. People are devious, bro. So I'm not putting this out here, all right, to associate Rello or Austin or anybody else with the individual acts of what this sicko Floyd did. That's what I'm not doing. I'm saying, for a guy like Austin to put the title Passport Bros are messing with 6-year-olds in Brazil, all right, in order for clicks and views, in order to continue to disassociate and then reassociate back with the terminology Passport Bros is wrong, and I'm here to call it out. All right. Why would you put a heinous title like that in order for shock value and clicks and views? Why would you put that term? And people associate you with Passport Bros more than they do me. Austin. Okay. So I just want to speak on that real quick. And real quick, let me play this video while I'm on it. And I got you in a minute, guys. Do me a favor, hit the like button. I'm going to get super chats in a moment. Let me play this right quick. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off, all right, what one of my Brazilian guys said, all right? He says, as a Brazilian, I think this guy's situation is serious. The local media is reporting the case both online and on broadcast TV. The situation is as follows. This is coming from a Brazilian. According to what they are reporting, an Uber driver, while transporting 2 underage teenage girls, became concerned because they claimed they were going to meet an unknown man who did not speak Portuguese, and that they didn't know exactly where they were going. The driver reported the case to Uber, which then cross-referenced the data and discovered several fake accounts created by the same person, a false name, quote unquote William. All right. So he was trying to do something like I say, when it comes to things like that, man, I mean, that's pretty much lock and center. They got it. All right. Who had been used Uber for need children and teenagers. Let me read that one more time. Let me read that. The driver reported the case to Uber, which then cross-referenced the data and discovered several fake accounts created by the same person, a false name, William, who had been using Uber for children and teenagers, basically. The police were notified, and this had been cross-referenced with data with US. It was discovered that William was actually Floyd. Apparently, he moved to another state in Brazil when he realized he was being investigated. But the police saw this as evidence that he was going to flee and decided to act. Shout out to police in Brazil. He was arrested, reportedly resisted arrest, and had to be restrained. And with him were found 5 cell phones, 5 flash drives, several SIM cards, teddy bears, a balaclava, among other things. And the worst news, according to the media, the police found pedophilia material that he had a relationship with a child between 6 and 10 years old. Okay? If this is confirmed that he's indeed an abuser, it seems he was caught in the act, meaning that enough material was found with him to basically arrest him. All right? You guys can see. Hold on. That's Floyd right there being arrested with the famous red shirt on. Okay? Yeah. And we didn't have all those details at the when I did the broadcast like last night, we didn't have all the details, but more details are coming out. Okay? And before I bring my man Esme MIA in the building, hold on. I wanna play this video clip by a Brazilian woman. She's been on my show as well. I think we did a show a couple of years ago. All right. One of my lives. So this is what she had to say about this whole situation. Now, I'm going to get a super chat in a moment, but I got your super chats. Hold on.
Case that happens in Brazil.
Let me turn her up a little bit.
I was not going to say anything about this case that happens in Brazil about this guy, Floyd, who was arrested in São Paulo because of his crimes here. But I decided to record this video to answer Austin Holloman, and hope he can watch this video because he follows me here. Yeah, he is my subscriber. Only to make a point and correct something that he said in his video today, because he rushed to record videos to make a content talking about the situation. And he said something that I have to correct, Austin. Okay. In his video, the title is Passportbro in Brazil with 6 years old. Yeah, the title in his channel, this video, he is explaining the situation with his friend. Yes, because I noticed he has a lot of videos with this guy, unfortunately. And in the 5 minutes and 50 seconds, he said Brazil don't have a law or evidence to put somebody else in jail, to arrest somebody else. Austin, I'm sorry. You don't know everything about my country. Okay? You don't know the law here because you got in trouble because you don't know, and you want to teach foreigners in your situation. I knew you can't go back to Brazil, right? Can you explain why you can't come here for your new subscribers? Let me explain, guys. Here, the police have a lot of evidences to put Floyd in jail, because here the federal police work in silence. You know, do you remember when I told you I don't want to talk everything about the favelas or what happens there, because always have somebody looking at us in our social media? And that is true. Everything what you are recording and sharing in your social media,
All right. So you see how she's speaking on it. All right, a lot of comments. So let me go ahead and bring my man Esmond MIA in the building in a second. Let me catch super chats while we wait on him. All right. The real coward dude, fine. I don't know if it's him or not. Don't try to put all the Austin. You got blood on your hands too, dude. Passportbro is going out bad. All right. $2 super chat here. Who is Floyd Steen? Who is in Floyd Steen files? All right. $2 Aston Hogman, keep my name out your mouth, dude. Well, bro, you want to come on? You could. You don't have to come on. Why would you title the show your shit Passportbro plural? All right, you ushered him into space. Is that true or not? You did a lot of content with this guy. So if that was your way of trying to get underneath it, it was a bad move, and I'm calling it out. All right. Somebody said, do you think this will damage our reputation, bro? This is worse than I thought. Disgusting. I would have crashed out over this. It's embarrassing. No, I don't think it will ruin the reputation. I mean, this guy already said that he was not a passport, bro, several times over. All right. As a matter of fact, to be factual, When Austin detached himself from the name publicly, he did the same exact thing. He went from Mr. Passport Bro to foreign home. But regardless, man, as far as the term, if you're asking about the term, shot my man D, man, if you're asking about the term is internet term, bro. It's going to stay around. It's not going to stop. All right. It's beyond viral. All right. It is what it is. It's like calling somebody a tourist at this point or an expat. Passport Bro is basically a single man that travels. And this is not by any one content creator. This is the internet we're talking about here. All right. And that's the issue I have with even Barber World with some of the statements of, you know, he want to always do I told you so content on the Passport Bros, not understanding that. I'm like, bro, it's the internet. What do you want to do? It's the internet. All right. It took off on the internet. It's here to stay. It's internet terminology. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to survive all the headlines, whether it be positive or negative. All right. In 2-3 weeks, it's going to be another video about something Passport Bro. They're going to be talking about on somebody else's podcast or something. Or Anton Dan's going to do another video about Passport Bros. At this point, let's be honest. It's above anybody. The terminology Passport Bros is bigger than any one content creator. It's internet terminology. It's no different than calling somebody a tourist at this point, at this level. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring my man Esme MIA in the building when he's ready. I think I see him in the back end. All right, and he wants to speak on this as well. He said he has some experiences with this guy Floyd. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in. I'm gonna do an open panel. We're gonna be rocking out for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and do an open panel. What's going on, brother? Take yourself off mute, bro. Take yourself off mute. Do I have you on mute? Let me see.
Good now?
Yeah, we good. We good.
What's going on?
Man, what is going on, man? I tapped into your video. You had a lot of information about this, man. Before we get started, let the audience know, what you're about and, you traveling, everything like that about your channel.
Yeah, man, I've been traveling roughly I've been traveling for 3 years now, but I just started taking the whole vlogging with the traveling series about 9 months ago. So that's how, if people are wondering how I was able to meet Floyd, it's because of just connections through the whole YouTube vlogging world. Yeah.
Okay. And you said you basically had random, because I've never met Floyd personally, but I have had him on the channel interviewing him. But you said you ran into him.
Yeah, well, Floyd would always make announcements on his lives about where he planned on going next, asking for donations and all that shit. So once I found out he was coming to Medellin with Austin, I reached out to him on his lives and, just told him, hey, I'm connected in certain things. I have some people you can meet to shoot some good content with, and, whatever else you may need. I'm just well connected there at this point. I've been there for 3 years now. So he reached back out to me when he was coming in town, and I was able to set up. I don't know if some of you guys saw that. It's been 1.5 years now, but when him and Austin came to the house I was staying at, I had a good friend of mine who's a personal chef come and, cook us up some dishes while they live streamed it. So that's how I was able to meet him. I met him in Austin that day. Yeah. We hung out and after the fact, man, and some people thought that Floyd was just putting on this character. He was just being this person online, like, some people do. I would tell you straight up, offline, he was just as socially awkward, if not worse. So I have receipts of some of the things that some of the women showed me. There wasn't anything in regards to trying to talk to kids or nothing like that, but it was disturbing, to them, to me. And so what I'm doing now is just working on a documentary. I'm not belittling the guy. I'm not even accusing him, because I believe in due process. I mean, it sucks that he's been accused of this. These are just allegations at this point. But you read out some of the new information that's came out today, man. It's not looking good. But like I said, I'm just going to report the news as it comes and share my personal experiences with him, as well as some of the women from Brazil and Colombia that know of the guy. We're going to actually conduct interviews after Christmas, and we're going to get their take on the whole situation.
So what is some of the things that they were saying about him, as far as the girls were saying about him?
Well, I don't want to give too much, man. Like I said, I'm putting all this in the documentary, but it was just inappropriate things. I mean, Floyd, I think, had a mentality that he could go to these countries and say and do whatever. And he was, to a degree, getting away with this. And when you keep doing something, getting away with it, you know, I guess you built this false confidence that, you know, you can go even harder. Like, I can't be touched. Like, I guess he thought he had some type of immunity to getting in trouble. And as you can see, this has backfired on him due to him probably just getting too relaxed in these countries, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have voice recordings of some of the stuff, not personally from him, but I have voice recordings from some of my friends. That's all going to be exposed here shortly.
Okay. Okay. Like, were they saying like he was like you said, he wasn't talking about, you know, because he's a grown woman, but were they basically saying that, hey, this guy's a weirdo, he's a creep, he's
right? And
know,
to see that type of behavior ties into some of the traits of pedos. Now, I'm listening to all. I heard about this about a year ago. I'm listening to all this, just thinking the guy's just on the spectrum. Maybe he just don't know no better. But now that I look at it now, I should have probably caught this earlier. You know, I only met him one time, saw him one time, but I will tell you that the guy had several different aliases, several different numbers that he would hit me up on. He would accidentally say this name and say, "Oh, my bad, you shouldn't have heard that, or you shouldn't have read that." And I thought that was just weird, but I didn't really think nothing of it, you know. So now it's starting to kind of make sense, you know, due to what's transpired now. So yeah, I had a homegirl hit me up last night talking about, hey, there's this American guy that was a YouTuber. He got arrested in Sao Paulo. Have you heard of him? I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah. And first of all, you know, the streets talk. The streets know the news before the actual news outlets. So I got a lot of information that may be coming out soon based on what they're telling me that they're talking about in the favelas in Brazil. It gets deeper. Trust me, guys. And this is still fresh news. We're not even 48 hours into this right now. So you're going to hear a lot more in the coming days, not only from me, but of course, the news outlets in Brazil.
Yeah, one of my friends reached out from me that's in the favela as well. And he was telling me, he was like, look, if he doesn't have some type of protection, he's cooked. He's cooked inside there.
Well, think about it. We don't play that in the States.
No, we don't.
For touching kids, molesting, raping, exploiting, whatever. You got the whole unit gonna be on your ass. You know, you can't. You know, Brazil. I'm pretty. You know, the prisons and the jails out there it ain't sweet. You know, it ain't probably no protective custody and foreign safety and all that. In these jails, they don't care. You did the crime, you got to sit here and wait it out and fight for your life. You know what I'm saying? I do. You know, you're kind of hoping in this situation that it's a mistaken identity or, you know, just not accurate information. But based off what they said they found as far as pedophilia information, that's just not helping your case, you know. So I think he may be cooked. How cooked he's going to be, we got to have to find out, you know.
Yeah, man, it's man, what a way to end the year, bro. Like, this is, and like I said before, you know, I know I got Austin in the thumbnail and everything, and it's really like a response to his title, which is, you know, a horrific title, talking about multiple passport bros, you know, and all that, doing that in Brazil. But I don't want to put this on anybody else what he did individually. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said before, you don't really be knowing. You can hang with somebody every day, man. You know, you can think you know them, but you never know, you know, what somebody's true intentions are, bro. You know, people hide, you know, serious little things like that. And it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, man. But like I say, he did somewhat usher him into the space. You know, people like to look at somebody that's awkward and laugh and say, at least I'm not that guy. So I understand why, you know, people would bring him on. He did go viral in this space. He was on Fox News and stuff like that. I'm talking about Floyd in particular. So, you know, it's just one of them things, man. You know, and like I said, I don't want to take away from the seriousness of what he's being accused of. You know what I'm saying? Like, the passport bro stuff can take a back seat. You know what I'm saying? Just as a man, and, you know, just doing that, man, him doing that, it's just sickening.
I mean,
You know, really.
to be honest, like what you said, this has nothing to do with Passport Bros. Like zero. You know, but unfortunately, we live in a time right now where anytime someone's traveling to a country and does any type of crime, does anything that's negative, the Passport Bros name gets thrown into the mix for whatever reason. So I hope people would just kind of keep that in mind. This is not passport related content at all.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Let me read some of these super chats, bro. I don't got a couple. The real time $2 you can always pull up for the fade, bro. Timo 50 Cent about to get a visit from the FBI. I guess you're talking about Floyd. Yeah, Floyd. He's cooked, man. He's cooked.
Floyd would probably, his best case would be that the U.S. extradites him. If I'm him, I'm hoping that happens. You know, instead of waiting it out in Brazil.
Yeah, and even then, even when he gets extradited to America, you know, they find out that he did that, he's still gonna be cooked to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? And I like I said before, somebody got a little upset with me because I was like, I don't know how Floyd even was able to travel after all, you know, the criminal record that he had, 13 arrests and all that shit. And somebody was like, hey man, you know, this, that, and other people can get passports and all that. But I'm just like, damn, some people shouldn't be able to get passports, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm surprised he didn't get hit with the because Brazil and Colombia, you know, a lot of countries have that undesirable, like, you know, marked list, and you won't come into the country if they feel like you're undesirable, basically. And I'm shocked that he was able to even get in Brazil. But it also depends on the type of charges that he has too. And I think for the most part, his charges came. I don't know if it's for sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think most of the charges came from his police audits. You know what I'm saying? Doing the police audit and stuff. I don't think he had any, you know, chomo charges or anything like that.
Right. He talked about it from time to time on some of his lives, man. But yeah, he had some trouble going on in the States too with probation and some other stuff, which that's going to hurt him too. You know, if he's violating any type of probation.
Okay, I'm gonna drop a link in the panel, man. Guys, do me a favor, at least cam up temporarily, so I can see who you are. We had some weirdo come on yesterday and shot like his bald head or something on camera. I don't know what that was, but let me at least know who you are, man. Like I said, I don't want to take away from the seriousness of the allegations, bro. You know, the passport bro stuff can kind of take a back seat. This is a hell of a way to end the year, bro. You know. Okay, we got guys pulling up. All right, I see you, Travel Ninja. All right, let me pull you up on what's going on, Travel Ninja. What you got to say about this, brother?
Yeah, I was on Razor Ray's channel before, you know, his stuff got photobombed, but nah, I'm just still kind of like just in shock because I've been following Floyd and Austin since 2022. That's what actually got me into the passport like universe. Because before that, you know, I just, you know, people just travel, but I went through a breakup, and during that breakup, like 3 summers ago, I started watching more of his content because, you know, he was expressing his frustrations with American women, like we all have our frustrations and stuff, and that's how I started following him more, and then also seeing him and Floyd do their thing in South America and Poland. So I know Floyd was kind of like off, not really coherent like that, but I didn't really know that he was into that crazy stuff. Like, you know, that's just you don't cross that kind of line. I mean,
yeah. Most people thought he was a weirdo, and that's why Buddy was, you know, Austin was kind of parading him around like that. He was kind of using him as like,
taking advantage of him. He's kind of, exactly, make him look stupid, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. I mean, Floyd makes himself look stupid, but you know, you're the one having him on your channel though.
Right.
You know right. So, and but let me say this. Let me say this because I know, you know, he's probably triggered and everything like that. Once again, make this disclaimer: I'm not putting that on anybody outside of Floyd. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep putting that out there. You know, yes, Austin did somewhat usher him into the space because if it wasn't for Austin, in all truthfulness, we probably would have never heard of him, right? Probably would have never heard of him. But outside of that, I'm not going to put what his individual acts are of that horrific shit on anybody outside of Floyd. I want to put that out there again and again. All right. Because like I said, you never know, man. Some people be on demon time. You have no idea. You have no idea.
You just knew something was off about him if you go back to Austin's channel when he first linked up with Floyd in Brazil. If I can recall, Floyd came out there with no place to stay, no clothes. So that episode was Austin taking this guy to the mall to get some shirts, helping him find a place. You know, who does that? You know, at that point, you just knew that something wasn't right about him. You know, but it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And for all the people that donated to that guy, man, I mean, once again, you can't even really blame them because they think they just donating to a crash out. But damn, bro, you know, like he had a lot of equipment too. He had a lot of equipment, a lot of cell phones, you know. So I don't know, man. It's just an ugly situation, bro. And the crazy part is, it was a guy, a white guy that got caught up in Colombia for messing around with a minor. And you know, the reason I'm saying that is because it always hits hardest when it's one of us, right? You know what I'm saying? Even though other ethnic groups get hit damn near monthly or daily on some shit, when it's a guy that especially been around the travel space, it's going to get out there. It's going to hit a little harder. They're going to parade him around, the media, all that stuff.
Right, it's just the tip of the iceberg. My thing is, man, just want to ask y'all, because y'all been traveling a lot more than me. I'm over 31. People saying, James said yesterday, I would not go to Brazil. I would just, it's too hot right now. Man, I have a South American tour, late January to February, and I got Brazil on the list to return back there my second time. You don't think it's not gonna be that bad? I mean, especially if I'm just going just to like go see other cities and do my thing, not to do you know, nasty stuff like that. But I mean, I shouldn't have no worry, because like I said, I'm not breaking no laws, man. I'm just doing just to travel and just do my thing. And if I'm talking to women, they're like 25 and up. I'm cool on that young crap. Like this.
Yeah,
now you got to be extra careful. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna have any issues because of this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right? Because I'm American and black,
country, man. Yeah, they like I said, it's in the headlines right now, but you're not gonna have any issues, bro.
I'll tell you this: I was in with Medellin not too long ago when they had the crackdown on. Matter of fact, what they did, they started a curfew in Parkieres. Forget what time that they closed the park off, but it was because of the people that they were catching with minors. Now, what did happen during that time was a lot of people protesting against gringos, because what happened is you had a lot of business owners who had to close their stores down early. It was affecting their money. So you didn't want to be seen as a gringo around them, because there were some people getting mugged and just hit for no reason, just under the assumption that you're out here, messing up our economy due to messing with minors. They kind of generalized. But with any news, like BMT said, it's going to die down. I have plans of going to South America. I'm in Vietnam right now, and I have plans of going back at the end of February. I'm putting that on hold. Not to say I have a major concern, but I just don't want people to look at me and generalize or anything, to happen. I want to wait for it to die down and get back on track,
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy though, bro. Yeah, women speaking on the guy. Sometimes women can feel the vibes even more than we can.
They're talking about it. My good friend, she's the daughter of the owner of Sweet George's. And, a lot of brothers go there when they're in town. So she said this morning, she called me. She said they're already talking about this at Sweet George's. A lot of the bros that's going there to eat. It's a hot topic right now. So it's just not a good look, man. It's not a good look.
No, not at all. Not at all, man. It's like I said, it's really sad. It's even sadder that people are trying to capitalize it off the clicks and the views, putting the Passportbro title in there for more clicks and views. And it's just a shame that, guys can like Rello and him. Like I said, I'm not tying this to Rello at all, but they can say, hey, we're not Passportbros, but they'll still, in order for them clicks and views, boy, they still got to label it a Passportbro, no matter what. So it takes away from the, the strength of the name, really, when you name everybody a Passportbro. When you frame it like that, that means he's a tourist at this point. That means he's a single tourist from the West. That's all Passport Bro means at this point. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Somebody said he might get 40 years. I don't think he's going to. Man, I don't know if he's going to make it out of Brazil, bro, to be honest with you.
I was about to ask you what his worst case scenario is. Worst case.
Bruh, I mean, they don't play that in prisons anywhere that I know of. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want one of them lightweight Swedish Norway prisons or something like that with a PlayStation in the room or something. You know, they don't play that shit, bro. Like they might really get at him. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get at him. They're gonna extort him, try to extort him first. And somebody said in the chat that Brazil doesn't have any protective type custody. Not protective custody, but you know how in America you can say I don't want to be in population. You know what I'm saying? So you won't have to deal with
PC.
But yeah, PC, yeah. But they're saying Brazil doesn't have that. So he might be in general pop.
Oh.
And then the cops, they're gonna rat on him. They're gonna say, yeah, he ain't here for this. They ain't gonna hold that back, that type of information back. Then he's a foreigner, then he don't speak Portuguese.
I don't think nobody in that whole system don't speak no English, so he definitely is screwed up. Ain't nobody gonna be talking like
he don't speak no
maybe because he's American and they don't want that on their jacket. Maybe the Brazilians, they don't want that, him being harmed in there or something like that. Because remember, this is all allegedly, so he hasn't been convicted of anything as of yet. So maybe they might try to protect him until the conviction or something like that. We don't really know. They might invite him back to the United States. It all depends.
They will protect him because remember the news feeds on this. This is good for them. So they want to keep the guy around, keep him safe because they probably want to conduct some type of interviews. They want more of the story and they want more to pick his brain. What were you thinking? What were your intentions? Blah blah blah. So I don't think he'll have some type of protection until the due process is over with. I know that.
Yeah, man. Shout out my man Razor Rays in the building. He reported on this. That tapped in to you for a moment too, Razor Rays. Thank you for the responsible journalism, brother, with the $5 super chat. Salute, guys. Man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, this is just a, this is a tough one, bro. This is a bad one.
Why you got a stuffed teddy bear and a hand puppet, man? Like, what kind of sick freak is this freaking dude, man? Like, what the hell?
Man, I feel bad for the families, man. Like, dude, that's just bad business. And like I said, nobody knew that this cat. We all thought he was just like a cringy weirdo, dusty dude, Pookie type joint. But goddamn, bro, you really on some sicko time, man.
Right, just stick with the studs, man. Stick with the freaking BBWs, man. At least they're of age, and like ain't nobody gonna be able to get baddies like that. Just stick with those type of people and not get in this kind of predicament, man. Like I just don't get it,
Somebody said him being American might save his life. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, right. Not in jail.
Yeah,
not for this.
Like that under 10 shit, bro. Like that's some sick shit.
Right. I got a nephew, man. And I'm about to have another nephew. Like, heck
yeah.
He was definitely a creep, man. The first time when we connected, when he was he had just landed, making his way to where he was going to be staying at. His first message to me was, "Where them hoes at?" And I just thought that was just weird, bro. Like you've made it to Colombia, bro. I gotta tell you where nothing is as far as women go. Look around, I didn't even answer that. I was like, so what's up with this meeting with my homegirl for the cooking episode? I ain't gonna answer all that. Then we went out later that night. You're gonna see all this, and I got videos and everything, bro. But it was just, dude was just kind of awkward, very awkward.
This is a harsh lesson to be learned, especially by guys, because I'm guilty of this too, man. It's some old bros, it's some American guys. Let me just go hang out. You know what I'm saying? Because you just assume that, hey, we all speak the same language, we're from the same country, sometimes the same city, and you just hang out. You know what I'm saying? You're just hanging out, but you just never know who you hanging out with in some cases, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's been all types of little stories that I know, that we talk about in some of these chats and everything. Like, yo, that particular dude, he was on some other shit. I remember hanging with some cats in Medellin one time, and I'm thinking that it's all good and everything, and then dudes start talking about, cocaine, the white stuff and shit. I'm just like, all right, dog. I'll see y'all later, bro. Like, let me go and get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because you just think that I don't know. It's like when you overseas and you see other American bros, and hey, they from the city and everything. You just assume that they out there to do whatever, but not like no crazy shit. But sometimes you can be wrong, bro. Like I said before, like when dudes start putting out cocaine and stuff. I was hanging with some Puerto Rican Americans one time. They started putting out some shit. I was just like, all right, time to go.
That would be me too. When I'm abroad, when I be going, yeah.
I'd rather they pull out cocaine than stuffed animals and 6 cell phones, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. But I don't want to be around none of that. Like, I don't be want around. Bro, I know dudes that got hooked on Tootsie in their 40s in Medellin. I'm just like, bro, you hooked on Tootsie, bro? Like, you out here hooked on Tootsie, selling Tootsie? Like, what the you in your 40s, bro? Like, come on, man. Like,
it was crazy when I be going, like when I'm abroad and like traveling, man. I don't be trying to find other Americans. I be trying to like befriend like Europeans because I don't know when I'm like just out the country. Unless not a weirdo, and you're a solid like person that doesn't do none of that kind of crazy stuff or no drugs, whatever. I rather talk. I love to meet other different nationalities and stuff because I'm in America every day. It's nice to speak with like Dutch, German, you know I met an Irish Chinese chick, I still talk to her to this day, it's just who's just not on that kind of weird stuff. I mean, I'm not saying not all Americans that travel be on that stuff, but personally for me, I just usually try to, friend Europeans and Canadians.
oh damn. I think I got hit with the box again, fellas. It's 5,000 supposedly in the chat. They're gonna crush my numbers again. But you know what is crazy about I guess the Black American swag. I was out and about and I saw like he's like an East African type of dude. He's like, you can tell he had an accent. I don't know if he was Somali or what's the other one, Ethiopian or something. But he's speaking like he's a Black American almost, like he trying to get his holla on and everything. And I'm just sitting here like, bro, we get like imitated by so many.
Call you back.
You know what I'm saying? Like we get people try to have our type of swag to a certain degree overseas.
But it's to be hating on this stuff.
The reason I'm bringing that up is because it's like we being watched. You see what I'm saying? We being watched because we come from a very popular culture where a lot of people try to imitate our culture. So it's crazy. Yeah, 8,000. I don't think we got 8,000 in the chat, man. It's the bots. They've been hitting me lately. Let me catch a super chat by Turkish Tyrone with a $9, $10 super chat. Basically, I really appreciate that, bro. He said, "Gents, passport bro equals euphemism for straight Black American men. I hate it, but it's another dog whistle used by our opponents to bash us and try to control us. SYSBM, save yourself, Black man, but make yourself a moving target." All right. Appreciate the super chat, Turkish Tyrone. I definitely agree to that, man. Like I say, it's in there at this point. It's in that terminology, bro. At this point. Yeah. Ignore the bots, guys. I don't know why the bots been hitting my lives lately. They just be, I don't know what's up with that. And I'm gonna drop another link, man. If guys want to pull up to the panel, we can discuss this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't see this one coming, man.
Well, not this in particular, but a lot of us did see a crash out of some sort.
Yeah.
He had some videos where he was like, "I don't give a fuck no more. I'm super depressed." You just kind of saw it without knowing what the outcome would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that was crazy. Somebody said, "I don't believe Floyd is that slow."
Shit. Okay.
What do you say to that, man? Like, do you think he's like slow, like a little,
He's off.
He's off.
Very off. My homegirl that just called me, she's gonna be one of the ones from Columbia that's gonna do the interview. She said the same thing. The guy was just something was not clicking up top. And like I said, a lot of people, and I can see why people thought he was just playing, being like in a character mode, but he was really like that offline. When the cameras weren't rolling, he was really the same, if not more awkward.
Yeah, yeah, man. I've met guys in this space that had awkward vibes or would say awkward things. Like I said before, you know me, I'll be out the door. I'll be like, oh shit, this nigga, he on some weirdo shit. Let me get the hell alone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's crazy. What up, Azrael?
Hey, what's going on, man? I hope I'm not one of those guys. If I am, just bear with me. You know, I'm coming from the hood. Have a little bit of arrested development. You know.
Nah, man, what's going on though, man? You was on the panel yesterday too, man. Appreciate that.
No problem. Appreciate you.
Now that you've seen like more stuff come out, what do you think now? What are your thoughts now?
Oh man, he's cooked. I just know he's cooked. I mean, I want to just say what I really came on here to is to put a retort to what the other guy was saying previously. Like, oh, if he's going, because I'll be in Rio like 2 days right before Carnival's about to end. Right, I'll be there for like the last 2 days. So I just want to let guys know, like, remember, you have to keep in mind they've been investigating him for a while now. It wasn't like, oh, they just randomly caught him, no. So don't feel as though, what's gonna happen to me, or they're gonna randomly just snatch me up like on some Escobar type ish and be like, oh, we're gonna pull you out the van. And no, like, this is something that's been going on for a while. So you can't put yourself, you're there just to be genuine. And even if you're dealing with women that are over age and you do your thing, if it's foreplay, if it's not, like, make sure that, for safety measures, make sure they're 21 and you're good, right? Whatever you do, just make sure you do it with the bounds of the law. Remember, no teenagers. I don't know how to reiterate that to a lot of people out there. I mean, even, and to the point that I have to say that you probably have ill intentions anyway. But my point being is that, like, you're fine. Don't make this deter you from going to Brazil. Brazil's a beautiful place. Like, I have friends there. People like Esmond. I don't know, I'm butchering your name, but there's guys like him there that I don't know if you live in Brazil or Colombia. Colombia, right? People like,
yeah.
But yeah, like people like you that live in Brazil every day, right? I know multiple people that are there and they have no issues. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, then you'll be fine. Like, you're not gonna, no one's gonna be snatching you up and you're gonna be stuck somewhere in a basement and somebody speaking to you Portuguese with the water tap. What's the thing called? That water punishment where they put the thing over your head, like, you're not gonna be stuck. You'll be fine. Just do what you're supposed to do. Act as though you would if you were around nothing but police in like one of the capitals in America. Just be on your P's and Q's.
And you know what? Barbaro said something in his video yesterday. And I don't always get along with Barbaro, but he said something that was 100% true. He said that 99% of guys that are traveling are not even into that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, most guys traveling are going for grown ass, thick ass Latino women. You know what I'm saying? Grown ass women. Especially bro. But that's just not something that we're known for, because that's not something that, that's not what we really do. Just in all transparency. Now, I'm not talking about all of us. We know it's millions of us. It's going to be some sickos, but for the most part, 99%, 98% of guys are looking for thick Latinos. You know what I'm saying?
If there's anything we're guilty of, is dating women that are older than us that but are thicker in this space. So
I want to welcome my guy Pablo Frescobar to the building, man. I've been seeing you get it in, brother. I've been watching you on Facebook, brother. How's everything going, man?
Hey, man, look. I'm going to bring some joy to this situation. I am in Medellin, Colombia. I have been here for almost 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
In the early days of hip hop, there were criticisms of the genre, right? That it was violent, right? That it was from the underground. It was an undesirable art form. It was an undesirable lifestyle, because really that's what it was at that time. You're talking about the early 80s, right? I was there. I'm old enough to remember. It was heavily criticized.
I remember too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember.
There was
I
fights.
remember.
There was shooting. You couldn't get insurance on a hip hop concert.
It was like was it Bush or who was it? The vice president Bob Dole had said something about hip hop and shit.
Right,
Gangsta
right,
rap.
right. So I compare the Passport Bro movements to early hip hop. It is a lifestyle. And in it, okay, do you think Nas and a Memphis rapper that's, in the trap and and shooting up shit are equals?
No, not at all. Not
Neither
at
are
all.
we in Floyd and J Rillo and all of that.
Yeah.
We not
That's
equals
true.
either.
Mm-hmm.
So, fellas, do not lose heart in the fact that, there are going to be those among us who are on the fuckery.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to call them out when they are. If they're wrong, we got to call them as wrong and leave it at that. We're never going to be able to escape all criticism. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And BFT, you've seen me down here in Colombia lately. Man, I've been in Cablagatas.
I've been seeing you, bro. I've been looking at you on Facebook. I'll follow you.
I'm in the highest end
With
restaurants and
the
rooftops.
horses and everything. I've been seeing you.
Yeah, that's what I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into no low life bullshit. And there are others like me, like shout out to Jay Clyde, who got engaged. Shout out to Mervyn Person. Shout out to all of the brothers on TikTok that have wives and shit like that. Man, we're a diverse group.
Mm-hmm.
We're a diverse group. Please don't lose heart. You know what I'm saying? I love what you do, BMT, out there in Thailand.
I appreciate that, bro.
I mean, there are some guys who, for whatever reason, they can't earn a living on YouTube in the way that you do, in the way that Richie Mack does, in the way that Andre and Andrea Love Crossing Borders does. For whatever reason, they can't do it. They're not cultured enough. They're not smart enough. They don't have enough business savvy, whatever it is. And I think what happened to Floyd is he got caught up in trying to provide for his foreign lifestyle by providing these crazy ass services to these damn pedophiles.
Yeah, man. That's the part everybody kind of glancing over. Like, and I was kind of confused by that part too. But somebody, once more details came out, they're saying that he was trying to arrange and set up stuff. So I'm like, bro, what was you doing? You was out there trying to low-key pimp like kids? Like, come on.
He's DMT. Just for a little background, that's what I used to do for a living. I was a probation and parole officer in the Virginia Department of Corrections for 7 years. And you know what I was? I was what they called a surveillance officer for the intensive supervision caseload. Rapists, robbers, pedophiles, all of the rest. And you hear the parties going on here in Medellin. This Christmas. This their biggest.
Oh, yeah, I love Christmas in Medellin.
Yeah, the fireworks and shit. Yeah. So, but I used to do that. So I recognize this behavior. You understand what I'm saying? The cell phones, the children's toys, all of that shit. Man, I know exactly what that is. So if he's guilty, he get what he deserves. And that's all we need to say. You know what? We hope if he's guilty, we hope he get what he deserves. If not, then let the chips fall where they may. And that's all I got.
Before I bring my man Obstacles and Opportunities on, I want to ask you, with your background, do you think that he will be extradited back to the U.S.?
It depends on how the Brazilian government feels about it, whether they want to make an example out of him or not.
Okay.
If they do, then he gone till November. Yeah. If they want to make an example out of him, he is gone till November. And right now with Trump, people are not feeling good about Americans abroad getting in the shit. They just not.
Yeah. Right. Yes, that's true.
They not. If this was under Obama, they might send them back. Just send them home and let them deal with him. And then America would prosecute him. But right now, man, he might get what he get. They might say, you know what, we're going to prosecute you here in our country. because your country would do the same to us, and that's.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because you
Hold on,
notice.
hold on, Azrael. My bad. I got you in a second, but I do want to welcome to the show my man, Obstacles. Hold on, let me catch the super chat real quick. I got to bring my man, Obstacles. I haven't heard from him in a while, man. I was just thinking about you not too long ago, brother. Trusting the Nerd with the 5 super chat says, Austin trying to blame Passport Bros and Red Pillars for his homeboy actions is wild as hell. Okay, yeah, that's true. Obstacles to opportunities, man. I really want to get your opinion on this, brother. What's going on? What do you think about this? Welcome to the show as well, bro.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. Shout out to BMT. Yes, so of course I believe in innocent until proven guilty. So the Brazilians got to follow through with the investigation. A little bit of information. I work for the U.S. Embassy in the actual security and law enforcement side. So I'm pretty familiar with a lot of different countries and how they operate when it comes to these kind of charges. But Floyd, he's definitely going to be just charged in Brazil. There's no extradition unless America finds some footprint in him committing similar crimes in the United States of America. There's no reason for it. He's just a person who got caught doing something allegedly in Brazil, so they're just going to follow through with that. He's going to spend his time in
Also, he's
Brazilian prison.
he's going to serve his time in Brazil for pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's where the crime was committed. It has nothing to do with America at all. It has about the crimes he committed in that country. And so at the end of the day, it's going to be pretty fierce because Brazilian people across the board and criminals don't like that type of crime. If you ever watch a documentary about prison system in Latin America, specifically in actual Brazil, they need to be put in an entirely different section of the prison because they're going to get deleted by other prisoners. They're going to have a terrible life. So that's not looked upon in any ways, but he will get beat up on the way there just from the accusation alone. But net, it's going to be pretty rough. And then America's not going to do anything. They'll probably come from the U.S. Embassy. What we usually do is send somebody as correspondence just to say, are you alive? Okay, who do you want us to send a message to back home? That's it. They don't have any lawyers. They're not going to fight for you. They don't care if you're an American. You're just there. And you're going to have to fight that battle in Brazil. So he's going to be listening to trials in Portuguese. And he's just going to be standing there with a public defendant probably, and then he's just going to have to go through the process, which can take years just to go to court and get seen. Years. So he's going to be in court just held. I don't think they'll probably give him bail because they were scared of him flying anyways, allegedly through the documentation. So it's going to be a battle, an uphill battle. But again, if he committed the crimes, then he'll do the time. There will be no outs on this one. And I think it was a bunch of other people too.
Let me ask you this: so do they contact the American embassy there when an American is in prison? So they have nothing to do with it, basically.
So my understanding.
Go ahead.
My understanding is that they already revoked his passport. The U.S. embassy.
Yeah, they confiscate his passport. The authorities. They don't revoke it. So it's still operational, but of course it's some flags on there if they correspond with the embassy. But they don't usually get involved because it's just the Brazilians got it. That dude's in handcuffs. They got his passport. He can't get on a plane or any form of transportation without that identification. And so it is what it is from there. And then, like I said, they'll send somebody just to have initial conversations, just to reach out to his family. But that's it. There is no fighting for him. There is no standing up for him. There's nothing, none of that. So any traveler know that the embassy's not there to defend you, to save you. This ain't no Britney Grinder. This is you just going to have to deal with a situation.
I wanted to add something to what Pablo was saying. Now, because I forgot I think when Trump came in the first time, like they basically like restricted who and when can not who and when they can come into into America. I think for Brazil, and that's why now Brazil has this thing where anybody from any part of the Anglosphere, whether it's the UK, Australia, or America, you have to have a digital visa, and that visa costs like $80, and you got to get it like at least a month to 2 weeks before you even enter in to Brazil. So yeah, what you were saying was true, Pablo. Like as soon as they see like how they were treating people trying to come into America, they're like, oh, bet we're gonna put a visa on you guys. You gotta now. It's like I think it was like right after Carnival around last year April. I think it was this year, April of 2025. Anybody that's coming into Brazil, they have to get that visa, which is like $80.
Well, I was surprised that he was able to get into Colombia in September with his criminal record, because you remember Colombia recently started cracking down on people that have domestic violence, any crimes against children on their record. If you come up on that Angel Watch list, you're not allowed in Colombia, and they've been turning people back for that. So I was shocked that he was even able to get in Colombia. I think he was here in September or whatever, and then he went to Brazil.
But
I think. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna be too long with. I remember he did an interview with Jamie Woods, and he was in, I believe it was Uruguay or Argentina before. And he said he was like chasing down women, cold approaching them, and they would be running away. I think it was Argentina. He said it's like he was all over South America. So
that was some time ago.
Yeah, I want to ask the panel this. I don't know if Pablo can answer this or Obstacle can answer this, because I got kind of one of the guys came on the panel yesterday. You remember Azrael? He was like, "Why you think guys that get locked up can't travel or something like that?" Like, what are do you guys know? Like, what's the determination if guys can get passports from being locked up or not? I know some guys get out and they get passports like years down the line when they get out probation, but is it the charges? Like, what is it that would stop you from getting the passport outside of child support, of course?
So you can be a convicted felon and get a passport.
Okay.
The issue is, are you on what they call court supervision? If you're on probation or parole and you owe fines and restitution, you cannot get a passport. When that is done, you are able to get a passport. The issue after that is the country you want to go to going to allow you in with your criminal history?
right, like Japan is a no.
So
Right.
so why did Brazil let him in then?
Maybe
Well,
it's like
this is the part. This is the part where people just assume that they're all connected, and no, they're not connected at all. So unless if he comes in just like tourism, the tourism process might not ask for criminal records, and even if they do, you could just say no. They wouldn't have no idea to see if that's valid or not. They would have information and say you stated falsely that you said you weren't a criminal. But if they don't have that process, then you're basically golden if it's just you're allowed in the country and as American. Even with the digital visa, if you could say no, or you could just fail to upload the information. And so these are a little bit small loopholes that allow someone to enter in. Now, there's a difference between a visa. Now, if they want to process a visa, like actual residency and all this other stuff, then some countries actually ask for police records from the FBI, usually is the main source. And so then you're going to have those problems, whether they clear it or not. It's the discretion of that country. But then again, he probably just filled out a digital application. I'm not sure if it asks you about criminal charges. And then if he did, he could say no, allegedly, or he could just, say, yes, it was this, traffic violations. So it just depends. But I don't think it has a process where it asks you those questions. And then even if he did, he could say no. The country would not know if he was false or not. They would just use it against him later, though.
I was going to say this I know that for Brazil in particular, and with a lot of countries, to get like the digital nomad visa, which is like a year, and then it might expire, then you can extend it for another year and keep extending it after the year annually. With them, you have to have like all sorts. You have to have like 18,000 in your bank account or show that you have proof of income, right? Either or, both of them at the same time is good. But you have to do an FBI report. And the FBI report has to be sent to the government as well. So I think when it comes to tourists, like, we as Americans, we have the 90-day, we could go anywhere for 90 days and we're good. And then afterwards, we have to ask the government to have extended stay. But to like stay there for like a year as almost still you're a citizen, that's when you would have to do like an FBI report and send it into the government.
Okay. Let me get a super chat here by Trust and the Nerve. Diana super chat. Really appreciate that. It says, I will stick to Eurasia. South America isn't civilized.
Man, that's BS, man. Look how happy Pablo look. Pablo look like the Black Santa Claus right now.
I got a whole condo in Medellin,
Hey
bro.
man, I'm happy as a hog and slop, bro. Let me tell you.
Like the Chester cat right now, grinning from ear to ear.
Mhm. I mean, but you know what? A lot of people do think that way, though. Not a lot of people, but some people do think that, you know, South America is just so third worldish. You know, like women don't have jobs or careers, and there aren't hospitals and stuff like
Or
that.
they're
You
so
know, America's
scared that
probably
they're gonna get, or they're so scared that they're gonna get scoped at every. Yeah,
That's laughable.
yeah,
That's laughable.
yeah, I get it.
yeah, man. But yeah, this is a crazy situation. Because what did you think when you first heard this? I don't know exactly when you know got aware of this, but what was your thoughts about it, bro?
But once I just heard about it, I was like, "Oh snaps!" I just seen the video and I
Because
was like,
you're
"Whoa,
familiar with
that's
Floyd's
wild."
content, right? You seen Floyd content and stuff.
Yeah. I seen him here and there. I seen him mostly when he was with Austin. I never watched him outside of that, but I
Mm.
have seen him when he was rolling with him. So I'm like, dang, they gonna hit him up like, yo, that was your homeboy. So I'm like, dang, that's gonna be a little bit blowback for him that he's gonna have to figure out. But yeah, I just saw it and I was like, oh snaps. I know when they usually execute a warrant and come look for you, it's pretty serious. It's not a game. They don't just do it on a frenzy. They actually like connect and correspond. So who knows what's going on? But I knew that, of course, Passportbro, just men in general traveling, it's going to be some people trying to place it on you. But if you really go look it up, the articles, they don't say nothing about Passportbro. I mean, this is just things that happen in traveling. Foreigners do this globally, and it's a small group of people who do it, and they've always been fighting against it. In the last 15 years, it has come very far. I was here in Thailand combating human child trafficking back in 2010 with NGOs, and it was in broad daylight that it would happen and be
Mm.
conducted. The mafia had massive amounts of power. So it would be broad daylight. And if you came over like, I'm going to do something about it, yeah, you would get skitty pop very quickly. And so
Mm.
now it's not like that anymore. It's in dark corners in the web, it's hidden, it's hardly regular. Like it's very hard to go about that. And there are a lot of people surveillance in that. But back in the day, it was not like that. It was free for all. It was ridiculous. Like even if some police force went in and found kids in a venue, they would just get paid off. And then they would
Mm.
just keep going. But now that doesn't fly anymore. So at the end of the day, these processes have been built. This monitoring is there. Brazil is known for people going to go do that. I'm surprised he did it in Sao Paulo. There's other regions that people usually target because Sao Paulo is too big. Police force has a lot of resources. So a lot of guys like that, like what do you call them, predators? They wouldn't go to those areas. They would go to a smaller town. But we'll see what the process is. But when I seen it, I said, wow, this is pretty serious. And he's going to go through some hell even if he's innocent, which he is now until proven guilty, but it's just going to be difficult. It's not like I'm telling you, that accusation alone can get you beat up and brutalized, period, off rip. It is not something that's condemned even by criminals. Like criminals
Mm.
obviously take other people's lives, right? And that's one thing that they don't rock with at all. So he's going to have some real problems. It's going to be difficult for him for the next 2 years minimum if he's lucky.
Rolling Travels. Shout out my man Rolling Travels, man. He says, who is to blame? All his supporters that gave him a platform and didn't point him in the right direction. All those that stayed silent. Shout out to my man Rolling Travels. Right.
But did his supporters know that he was doing that? I don't know if
No?
they knew he was on that tip.
No, they
No,
didn't.
anybody would have
Yeah,
known.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's like I can't condemn like people who like P. Diddy prior to allegations. Like, no, but people rock with his music. They didn't know they wasn't rocking with his music because of that.
Right,
They were
right.
just,
Mm.
fans of him, period. I'm pretty sure he seemed like an average, normal or just even awkward guy. So people are like, man, he's out there living his life. They see charges. They're like, whoa, I'm pretty sure they're not like, yeah. They're probably
Out of
like,
all
whoa,
people,
what's going on?
we wouldn't assume that he had enough sense because he is a little, lights on but no one's home kind of guy. So we would all assume that okay, the fact that he's trafficking like other people and basically like a traffic mule, no one would assume out of anybody that it would have been like Floyd. I don't figure he has enough sense to do that, you know? So.
Well, BMT, I dropped you a little link to Floyd's video, one of his last live streams, where he makes a statement that's very telling when he was talking about when Jay Rillo was going through his thing in Kenya.
Mhm.
And he says that he had a dream that the police kicked in his door and locked up Jay Rillo.
All right, I actually have it pulled up, but it's not. Let me see. I have it shared. Let me see if I can.
Yeah,
Let me try
go to
pulling
the
this up
2 hour,
again.
the 2 hour mark if you can.
That's the video when he was talking about how depressed he was and stuff too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Some fire vlogs, bro, but I'm gonna come back later, just not right now. Right now, I just want to hang out, chill out.
I feel that.
Yeah, man. I mean, the code approach challenge would have been better, but I don't know. So, how do you feel about Rillo? Do you think Rillo will be arrested when he tries to leave Kenya or no?
That's a good question, bro.
Nah, I
I was thinking about that the other day.
I don't think he's gonna get arrested. I think they just want him to leave. He might get a travel ban to never come back, maybe. But he's not gonna get arrested.
Yeah. I had a dream. Yeah, I had a dream that he got it was me and him at the Airbnb, and the whole Airbnb got surrounded.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it got surrounded by cops.
What?
Yeah, it got surrounded. It was a dream. It wasn't real. It was a weird dream, though. And Rilla was like, I'm turning myself in, guys. And he was live streaming. And the live stream had my live stream had 700 people in it. But his shit had 25,000. And they took him in. They arrested him. But the way they arrested him is they slammed him to the ground and they was punching on him. And I just kept filming it because I didn't know what else to do. And then they dragged him off to jail. And they left his phone with me. And he was still alive when they left his phone. So I told him what was going on. And I was like, I just pretty much ended the live because he was getting hauled off, and I try to get people to help him. So, but yeah, it was a weird dream. And then I woke up.
That was last.
Damn, he was talking about himself.
That's deja vu, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that it was something more. It was a concern on his mind.
Floyd the clairvoyant.
Yeah.
Man. Definitely, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Well, guys, we've been here for a minute.
If you're not really into no fuckery, you're not concerned about.
Right.
I ain't concerned about nothing. I'm here in Medellin. I'm not concerned about.
That's strange because he described exactly what happened to him down there.
If you're not on that type of timing, ignorance is bliss. You know, so. And people were putting out this rumor because I'm in Skylar's Discord, and they're like, Skylar's Discord is being investigated as we speak. I'm like, man, we don't even talk about none of that stuff in there, man. If there's any kind of chomo stuff, that shit will get reported before that person could breathe the next breath of air. Like, they make their head spin. We don't tolerate none of that stuff in that Discord. None of that stuff.
I would say this, man. This is going to be probably a little bit controversial, but look, I remember somebody also said, what did he say? Austin was saying something recently about like red pillars and passport bros always kind of being something like. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Guys be cutting against other guys, and this is just nonsense. Like, of course, nobody that usually is in a red pill say like they want that type of demographic. But let's further this point. Look, even for the play for play stuff, y'all guys, I would just suggest y'all just chill, man. That stuff is going to be on the list. You don't think it is. You think it's cool right now. It's not, man. For real, for real. Especially online talking about that stuff, bro. Nah. Even though in these countries they be doing it, be out in the open, you different, bro. It don't matter. It's going to hit different. When they want a justification, they got one. And it's not going to be teamed as, oh, it's just a trade between two humans. Nah, you got money. It's financial abuse. You had a better position economic. You know how it go. So I always just tell guys like, man, y'all just need to chill out on that, because as much as y'all think it ain't that, they're going to use it against you. As they always say when they arrest you, right? Everything you say and do will be used against you in the court of law. So just remember that, because the way they coming at it, it's not nothing new. It's nothing nice.
I've always said
Go
guys
ahead.
need to be discreet, man. You need to be discreet. Everything is not for the camera. It's not.
And you know what's crazy? I might say something that's a little controversial as well, man. The first person I saw, the first content I created, I saw in this space that was putting women on camera was Barber World, right? And it just seemed like
who?
Barber World. Barber World was the first guy that I seen in this space.
Ace Live was the first one I saw. It was Ace and Marwa.
Well, I'm talking about as far as the interview setups, the late night thirst type shit.
Right.
You know, and it's like, I don't know if Jay Rello or Floyd was trying to kind of like imitate what they saw from him, or even other content creators. I'm just saying that's the first guy I saw doing that. But that's where it seems like to get a lot of heat. When you're trying to get women from a certain lifestyle to be on camera and do little interviews with them. If you notice, that's where a lot of this heat comes from, more so than anything. Because the girls be like, wait a minute, they think about it for a second, like, wait a minute, I'm ruining my situation by being on your shit. Take my shit down type shit. So that's what I mean by that.
Do you think
he said Future is next? I don't really know Future is. Read my super chats. All right.
No, BMT, do you think people were hollering at girls and getting their numbers or making out with them before YouTube? Like foreigners, do you think they were doing that in Brazil? Like meeting girls and making out with them? They were probably doing that, right? So people have been doing it for years. Yeah, like American would go to Brazil and meet girls and talk to them, maybe cold approach them because there was no social networking, right? So it was done before. But the difference that people aren't understanding is as soon as you go and kiss on girls and then you on YouTube like, yeah, I'm getting these broads and I'm bringing them back out, boy, you better believe that. That's when it just turns into something different and people try to make it something else. You get Austin was pretty much good. But once it came out in video and then you're saying all this other stuff, like amping it up, it's not like, I met my wife and we're about to get married. But if you're like, I'm banging them back out, boy, I blow that. It goes a different direction and people are going to take it. The country's going to take it different. The nationals are taking the same girl that was with it. She going to take it different. So you just need to understand the nuances of that when you're putting that stuff online. That's what I say the biggest factor is that's making things a little bit turbulent and bringing up a lot of drama and controversy. It's just knowing that. And the old guys are probably sitting back like, man, because they've been here doing their thing. They like, you young bucks putting everything on the internet, making it hot. So yeah, and that's just talking to people.
You know what I always kind of felt about it, man. I felt like that night, ladies of the night situation. I always thought felt like it was some street stuff, and street stuff don't belong on camera. That's how I always looked at shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's some, that type of activity, man. That's some street shit, and street people are 9 times out of 10 involved. You know what I'm saying? So I just never thought that it would be smart to put any of that on a live on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You got other platforms, Patreon or your websites, but YouTube, man, it's family friendly for the most part. Let me catch a super chat by Led74Fly with the $10 super chat. He says the Brazilian newspaper stated that Floyd is part of an international ex-trafficking gang. Also, the HSI works with countries to investigate American citizens. All right. Shout out to you
So
for the
let
super
me say
chat.
this: there is some truth to that
Right, I
that I
want to see this.
researched.
Are y'all familiar with the HSI or something? Okay.
Yeah. But of course, lead investigation is Brazil. They can work with them as far as Brazil allows them to work with them, but they're lead on this for sure. Go ahead, Pablo.
So I was researching that this morning. There is some truth to that in that the Angel Watch, and you've probably heard of that. There are 300 of these perpetrators that they are investigating at the moment. 300. So Floyd is not the first, and he will not be the last. That they are looking at involved in this type of activity abroad who are U.S. citizens, and so Angel Watch is a big part of that. And one of the things that you've been seeing, and DC Born Rob has been reporting on this, is when some of these guys try to enter Colombia and they're on that Angel Watch list, they're being rejected and sent back to the U.S.
Facts.
Right, and when they
Yo,
get
Pablo.
back to the And when they get back to the U.S., that's when they go through their phone and say, let me see what you got here. Let me see what you've been doing before we let you back in.
I didn't even think about this. I just thought about it now. Man, this is going to be scary for your boy Floyd, or for not your boy, but just Floyd in general. It's going to be risky because you just think about it. The actual gang is a Brazilian gang, allegedly. So you thinking about now he going to prison. Now the cops want to know more information. Do he want to tell on the Brazilian gang? Because he's going to be going to prison. You get what I'm saying? So there's this whole fact
they did
that
mention
the
that.
biggest target in this is the Brazilian gang, right? Like,
Yeah,
of
because he
course,
was getting the
Floyd.
girls from the favela, and we all know the favela.
Exactly. They were facilitating. So
organized.
they're the primary target to dismantle this gang. That's a network probably all across Brazil, maybe, in these activities. Floyd is just like a John that's caught up in the sting. But they definitely going to. But now, look, he's in the middle of that, and they're like, give us this information on this Brazilian gang. Why are they going to be sending him to prison? That's going to be scary, bro. That's a situation.
So my
BMT, check this out. One of the things that raised my antenna, having been in law enforcement before, is Floyd had not done a live in 2 to 3 months. So how in the world would he provide for himself over 3 months with no financial support from his internet supporters, online supporters? How would he survive? He couldn't. That means he had to be making money through other means in Brazil.
Exactly.
Go check the date of his last videos and lives.
I'm glad you said that because I thought about the same thing. When I went to his channel, I'm like, well, Floyd usually be raising money, always begging for super chats and shit. How is he able to afford it? He was fresh out of jail. He was fresh out of jail. So it wasn't like he was working. He got out of jail and went straight to Brazil. So you guys are dead on with that. Y'all spot on, man.
Whether he snitches or not, I think it's still a lose-lose for him, just due to the nature where he's at. You know, if he don't snitch on who's ever behind the scenes with his organization, he's still gonna have the cats in jail that maybe have nothing to do with that game that don't play that shit on what he pulled. So he's just stuck between a rock and a hard place at this point.
Well, all right, Floyd. I mean, excuse me, RBMT. I gotta go, man.
That ain't right, brother. Hold on now. That ain't right.
Yeah, hold on.
I got you. Hey,
My
man,
bad.
enjoy Medellin. Enjoy that view, man. Medellin during the holidays is something unbelievable, bro. The lights and everything like that, the vibes is so cool. Be careful though. Be careful because you'll be on that type of time out there during the holidays. But
absolutely,
yourself, brother.
All right, man.
Appreciate you coming on, brother.
I wanted to also say this too, to what Obstacles was saying. Do you think let's say that hypothetically what you were saying is true, right? Do you think they're given protection in exchange for basically ratting out that gang?
I don't know, man. It's such a situation in South America. It's not like America where America, they be corrupt as hell too. They be interplaying with the gangs in some cases too. Because I remember we had a corrupt cop in our neighborhood that was playing both sides and stuff. You know, people thought that Training Day movie was just you know, one of them. I'm like, nah. Every city had their little Alonzo, basically.
Nah,
But
we all seen The Sopranos. We know, in The
right,
Wire.
but with the Brazilians, man, I just know just in general crimes and police, they kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of exchange information in some cases, you know, informants and stuff. So I don't know, man. I think he's cooked personally. My personal opinion, he's cooked. He's cooked from both sides. From both sides. Somebody said it was Floyd the mastermind. I don't think he was the mastermind. I just think that hey, he got caught up doing some dumb shit. Yeah, man. But guys, hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and end the show, man. We've been, you know, we talked about this, bro. Like I said, it's unfortunate, man. I appreciate everybody coming on the channel, bros. This is a horrible way to end the year. Like I said, this is the individual that did some sick shit. I don't want to take away from that, but it is what it is, family. Anybody want to say anything, closing words before we go?
Don't be afraid to travel, man. Like I said, I'll be in Rio for like 2 weeks. I have people that are from America. I got friends that are there that are Brazilian. Like, if you're not doing anything crazy, like, you have nothing to worry about. It's like if something happens in LA and you from like Atlanta. I'm not gonna be like, damn, I shouldn't go to LA right now because they just had uh they was just a whole gang sting of all Crips, like they arrested 500 Crips. Now I don't think I should go. Like, no, like, enjoy yourself. If you're there, this is the time of year where, especially for Carnival, where it's gonna be extra protection and extra safety for tourists. So they're gonna more or less, not necessarily gonna kiss your ass, but they're gonna cater to making it safe for tourists. So you're actually better off going at that time than any other time of the year. So don't let this deter you from traveling and going to Brazil.
Okay. Good point. Good point. Well, once again, brothers, I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. We're gonna tap on out. Peace.
Peace.